Supply and demand helped me go from a broke uni student last year to now a full-time $500,000 funded trader at 20 years old, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to use it. Now guys, I'm giving you all of this source for literally completely free. I'm smiling because I'm in a winning trade. I'm probably up a couple $1,000s right now, but I'm giving it to you all for free. The only thing I ask is that you literally press the like button and make sure that if you want to see more from me, you guys hit the subscribe button as well. But without further ado, let's get right onto the charts and I'll show you exactly how supply and demand literally changed my life. Let's go. Okay guys, so as you can see on my chart right here, this is demand on the left and this is supply on the right. Now, when it comes to drawing supply and demand zones, you want to keep it super simple. Stop trying to overcomplicate it. Stop making it more difficult for yourself to learn how to trade, okay? Because that is a big problem with traders when they're starting out, is they try and overcomplicate it so much because they want it to be perfect. They want the understanding to be so good. But the thing is, everyone's understanding of supply and demand is going to be different, okay? No one is going to draw, I mean, people are going to draw the same zones. You know, some people will, some people won't. But my point is, everyone's going to have a different way of learning and different way of drawing out supply and demand zones. So when you're constantly looking at other people and trying to learn exactly how they do it compared to how somebody else does it, you're just going to confuse yourself. So learn from one person and literally don't overcomplicate it, because that is step one in becoming a trader, is keeping trading simple. Stop trying to overcomplicate it and you will see massive improvements. Okay, so demand right here is on the left and supply is on the right. Now in this example, I'm going to be showing you demand and supply using a uptrend and a downtrend for supply. Okay, so demand is going to form in an uptrend, supply is going to form in a downtrend. Okay, so as you can see right here, this is an uptrend because we are forming higher highs and higher lows in the market. Okay, the market is clearly trending up, and as a result, we are breaking structure to the upside. Okay, as you can see right there, break of structure to the upside, break of structure to the upside right there, and break of structure to the upside right here. Now, every time we break structure to the upside, it leaves a demand zone. A demand zone is always formed after you break structure to the upside. For example, as you can see right here, this area caused a break of structure to the upside. Okay, then what you do is you draw out your demand zone and you wait for price to come back into it, and then you expect price to go up from there and continue to break structure back to the upside. So as you can see right here on this example, price pulled back into this demand zone, then continued up, breaking structure again, and then we saw another pullback into this new demand zone, which is actually right here. Okay, so this is the area that caused the second break of structure to the upside. Okay, then the new demand zone is formed. We expect price to come back into it and then go up. And that is basically how demand and supply trading works. Okay, you are basically trading with the trend in this example. Okay, and also for supply zones, it's the exact same thing. You'll see here that we are in a downtrend here, and as the market is forming lower highs and lower lows, you are going to be left with supply zones every time you break structure to the downside this time. So as you can see right here, break of structure to the downside, break of structure to the downside, and a break of structure to the downside right here. Okay, and every time this happens, you are leaving a supply zone. So as you can see, a supply zone is made right here. As we break structures to the downside, price comes back into it, and then price goes lower, then it leaves a new supply zone, and then price comes back into it, then it goes lower, and then as you will see right here, this is now our new supply zone. And what we would expect to see is price come up like this into it and then continue to go lower. Okay, that is the basics of supply and demand. However, there is also going to be supply and demand formed after a change of character. So as you can see right here in this example, a demand zone is going to be formed when the market changes character to the upside this time. So as you can see right here, we are in a bearish trend, and then you change character, meaning that we are basically shifting market direction. Now, if you don't know what a change of character is, I'm not going to cover that in this video. However, I will make videos in the future on it. But also, if you want to learn exactly more in detail about everything which I cover, right, all of my strategies and everything that helps me learn how to trade, you can press the first link in the description and join Trading as Mastery. I cover literally everything in 10 times, 20 times more detail in my paid community. Okay, so go and check that out. But as you can see right here, we change character to the upside after a bearish trend. Then this leaves the demand zone, and then we wait for price to come back into this area and expect it to go higher. That is a second example of a demand zone. So as you can see right here, you can have a demand zone after a change of character, or you can have a demand zone after a break of structure. The break of structure is in the uptrend here, and the change of character happens here after a downtrend. Okay, now I know I'm going over it super quickly, but it's because there's only so much I can put into this short video. So I really want to give you guys as much as I can within the space of 15 minutes. Okay, so as you can see right here, this is now our second example of a supply zone. So this is an example where we see a change of character out of an uptrend and starting to form a downtrend. Okay, so as you can see right here, the market was going up, then we change character to the downside, leaving a supply zone. Price comes back into this supply zone, and then you expect price to go lower from there. And that is after seeing a change of character, this time to the downside, leaving your supply zone. Okay, the supply zone, you would draw it out as the area that caused the change of character to the downside. The same goes for the demand zone, is the area that caused the change of character to the upside. Okay, so as you guys can see right here, those are your two examples of supply and demand zones. Either your demand and supply zones could look like this, okay, where you're in an uptrend or a downtrend and the market is breaking structure and then it's pulling back into the area that gave you the break of structure, or it's going to be something like this where it's a change of character and then price comes back into the area that gave you the change of character. Those are the only possible things that can give you a supply or demand zone. There are going to be people's opinions on this. However, I've been trading now and this is my strategy. I know it works, and that is my very, very quick explanation on demand and supply. But now what I'm going to do is jump onto the charts and actually show you guys some real life examples. Now, what I've done right here is I've actually gone onto the hourly time frame, okay? And as you can see, we are clearly in an uptrend. Now, you're probably thinking, Sal, why are we in an uptrend? Well, let me first address this, okay? The reason we're in an uptrend is because, as you can see, the market is, first of all, just going up. Whenever you're trying to identify the trend, just literally look at it and think, okay, what direction are we going? We are going up. Super simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Now, because we're going up, what are we going to be looking for? Demand zones only. No supply zones we want to trade from, only demand zones. And as you can see right here, we identify our demand zones after the area that causes a break of structure back to the upside. So as you can see right here, this area right here, okay, if you guys look here, I'm going to actually highlight it like this, okay? This area is the area that broke structure back to the upside, breaking past these higher highs right here and forming a new higher high up here. That area leaves you with a demand zone, which I've identified with this rectangular box right here. Now, to actually draw out your demand zone, all you do is draw out the last bearish candle before the move up, okay? So you draw it out just like this. Here's the last bearish candle, this white one right here, before the move up. So you draw it out, and then what you would do is you would wait for price to come back into it, okay? And then expect it to go higher. That is super simple, and that is literally what you do. Don't overcomplicate it. The same thing happens literally right after. You see a pullback in the market, okay? And then what does that pullback do? It breaks structure to the upside, okay, giving us a break of structure. Then you draw out your demand zone as the last bearish candle before they move up, which is this white one right here, okay? You can actually include these wicks below, and that's what I did in this example. You can either draw it like this, so just the white candle, or make it a little bit bigger like that to include the whole area, okay? Then the exact same thing happens right here. You see a break of structure back to the upside, draw out the last bearish candle before the move up. And that is literally how you do it, guys. Super, super simple, and don't overcomplicate it. So many people, when I'm trying to teach them how to trade, they are thinking to me, or they're saying, Sal, how do I actually identify supply and demand zones? I can't do it. Bro, stop overcomplicating it. I can't explain to you any more than I just did there. And that is it. So many people are trying to find the most perfect examples of demand and supply, trying to find ones that are literally amazing to look at. But the charts are not going to be amazing to look at. It's a chart. It's made of candles. It's made of ugly candlesticks that are hard to read. So when you're trying to find the most perfect supply and demand zones, your trading is going to be worse, okay? Stop trying to find perfect examples because nothing is perfect in Forex. And as you can see right here, this is 3 examples of demand zones, and they're all completely different, okay? This one is consistent of, a couple candles. This one's consistent of 1 candle. This one's consistent of 1 smaller candle, right? They're all different, but they are all demand zones. And what you would do if price was to pull back into them, okay, which it didn't actually do in any of these examples, but let's say, get out of it. Let's say that price did pull back into this one, you would take a buy, okay, and you expect price to go higher, like this, okay? You would put your stop loss below this demand zone, something like this, okay? So you would take a buy. Anywhere in the demand zone is fine. Put your stop loss below the demand zone, like this, okay? And then your target can be anywhere above, because you know it's going to go up because you're in an uptrend. Same thing goes for this one, okay, for the next demand zone. You would wait for price to come into it, and then you take a buy, okay? Same thing for this one, and I can go on forever and ever, but that is an example of a demand zone. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to EU, and I'm going to show you an example of a supply zone, okay? This is going to be a supply zone on the, I believe it's the hourly as well. So yeah, here we go. This is an example of a supply zone on Euro USD. And as you can see right here, I'm actually going to replay the charts for this one. And I want you guys to literally see how it reacts when it comes into these areas, okay? So this is a supply zone. Now, why is this a supply zone? This is different to all of the other ones I've been speaking to you about. This is one that gives you a change of character to the downside. And like I said at the start, a supply or demand zone can either be in a trending market, or it can be at the start of a reversal in the market after a change of character. So as you can see right here, this gives you a change of character to the downside this time, and then it leaves a supply zone, okay? Now, where would the change of character be, right? The change of character is going to be when you break below the previous low that caused the new high. So as you can see, if I literally just draw out my charts, right, we are going up, okay? We have a pullback here, right, like this, and then we go higher, forming a new higher high. In order for us to have a change of character, we need to break below this low right here, which formed the new higher high, which is up here, okay? Now, like I said, guys, I don't have time to put all of this into one video, but if you want to learn exactly what I mean by everything, right, in way more detail, then press the first link in the description, okay? But as you can see right there, that gives you a change of character, indicating that this is now a strong selling zone, as it's giving you a change of character to the downside. So what we do is we draw out our box like this, the last bullish candle before the move down, because it's inverse to what we look for in a demand. Like I said, in a demand zone, you look for the last bearish candle before the move up, but in a supply zone, you look for the last bullish candle before the move down. So you draw this out, okay, and you wait for price to come into this area. And as we can see right here, okay, price eventually, really, really slowly makes its way back into the supply zone. And then what does it do when we get into the supply zone, guys? Or what you would do, right, is, you know what, you can actually let me know in the comments right now, what would you do when price comes into the supply zone, okay? 3, 2, 1, let me know in the comments, okay? Either you buy or you sell, and I hope all of you guys said sell, okay? Because super, super easy, right, and super simple to understand is that when you are in a supply zone, you sell. When you're in a demand zone, you buy, okay? Just simple, okay? So you put your stop loss above the supply zone like this, right? Your target can literally be anywhere below, right? But let's just say these lows down here for a super easy target, right? Or, you know, you can even target these lows here. But the point is of this video is not to show you where the targets are, right? The point is just to show you how to draw a supply and demand zone. So it doesn't matter about the targets, but I'm just going to show you that we do see a reaction from this zone, okay? And as you can see, we would have hit these targets down here of this liquidity, which was actually resting underneath this low right here, right? So that got hit, and then that would have been a winning trade, reacting from a supply zone. Now, after price did go up and actually go through the supply zone, but that is totally fine, guys. We would have got our trade right here using supply and demand strategies, and you would be out of the market, okay? So super, super easy. And like, that is it, guys. There's so many other examples I can show you. If I just go on my chart and just like randomly look through it, I'll find more, okay? For example, right here, I don't know where we're gonna look. I want to just find. Right. Well, I mean, here's another one. Okay, so what we can see here, this supply zone doesn't get respected, by the way, but it's a good example to show you that not all of them do. Okay, so as you can see right here, this is a uptrend. As you can see right here, the market is trending up right here. Literally, you can just see it's trending up. So then what you do is you wait to see a change of character back to the downside, okay? Now, the change of character to the downside, guys, yet again, I want you to just kind of take a moment to answer this question yourself. Where would the change of character to the downside be? 3, 2, 1. It's going to be when we break below this low right here, giving us a change of character to the downside. And then what you do is draw out the last bullish candle before the move down, which is this blue one right here, okay? And that is your supply zone. Super, super simple. And you would wait for price to come into it and then take a possible sell. Now, of course, this did not hold, okay? And it's probably because this was a news candle. Okay, it was at 1 a.m. So yeah, this would have been news, and it just completely went through it. But that is totally fine. not every supply zone is going to work. And actually, when it comes to actually identifying which ones are going to work, there is so much more that goes into it. You need to know about higher time frame analysis. You need to know about reactions when it comes into the supply zone. You don't just want to trade every supply and demand zone. You want to wait to see what happens when price comes into it. If you see good reactions, if it's with your higher time frame bias, then you can take the trade. But as you can see right here, there was no reaction from the supply zone, no selling pressure at all. So obviously you wouldn't trade this, okay? But that's kind of all I can cover in this short video, guys. I hope that makes sense. I know I went through it super quick, but it's because there's only so much I can say in a short YouTube video. And like I said, if you want to know more, then literally press the first link in the description, guys. And I teach everything in Trading Edge Mastery, okay? But that is it. Supply and demand zone, super, super simple. I'm going to go back over here and quickly one more time cover everything again, okay? Because I know I did go through it super quick. But yeah, guys, going over it one more time, okay? Demand zones are going to be like this. They're going to look something like this, where you are in a bullish trend, okay? And then you are going to see a breaker structure to the upside. And the area that's giving you the breaker structure is a demand zone. And then also the second example of a demand zone is going to look like this, where you see a change of character to the upside out of a bearish trend. And that area that gives you the change of character is your demand zone. Now, the same thing goes for a supply zone. Supply zones are going to be in a bearish trend right here. They're going to be the areas that give you the breaker structure to the downside this time. Draw out those areas, wait for price to come back into it, and then take a sell. And then the second example is going to be a supply zone out of a bullish market. Price gives you a change of character to the downside, wait for price to come back into the supply zone, and then you take a sell. And that is it. That is literally how I've been able to go from, $0 to $500,000 in funding in a year, is using concepts like supply and demand. Of course, there's so much more to it, and I use so many more different things in my trading. But if you can understand supply and demand to a good level, that is going to be enough for you to become a very good trader. Make sure you guys go and backtest this. What I want you all to do is, some homework is go and actually look for, 10 examples of supply and demand out of a bullish trend or something, or whatever you want to do. Basically, go and backtest this, guys. And let me know how it goes in the comments. Let me know if you're understanding these concepts that I'm teaching you. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And like I said as well, if you want to join Trading Edge Mastery, press the first link in the description and you can book a call with my team to know more about how I've been able to literally change my life through trading. But guys, other than that, thank you for watching. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video whenever that is. Peace.